Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be. Thanks for joining us in the garage for a review of Bring a Trailer.
All right, let's get right into it.
All right, car number one.
Oh,
Who is this?
this is me. 1992 Alpina B12. 5-liter V12. It's red. It's an Alpina. It's got different Alpina wheels.
It's a coupe.
Well, sure, it is. It's number 11 out of 97. 5-liter V12. It's got different pistons, bigger intake valves, new camshafts.
It's from Norway.
ECU tune. Yeah, I think it lived a lot of its life in Norway.
More than 2 decades.
Mm-hmm. It is black interior, which is good. Downside is it's an automatic.
Oh,
But it's got a transmission tune, I think.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but look at these seats. I haven't seen leather Alpina seats before.
I have.
I like it.
I looked at these seats earlier.
Did you?
I did.
Did you like it?
I did.
I like the steering wheel. I like the seats. I like the gauges. I like all the Alpina stuff.
Pretty sure there's a spot for the factory cell phone.
Yeah, right there on the right. This would be a car probably worthwhile to, I don't know if you could base a business around manual swapping them.
Well, there are 97.
Well, just the V12s and like just 8 Series in generals. I don't know how hard that would be. But I think that would be pretty cool.
Hey, that's a good sounding car.
Yeah, because I think it's got Alpina exhaust on it as well. It's got the front lip. It's got the stripes, which I enjoy. Not a huge fan of red. But
I'm not sure how hurt I would be to have that as an automatic.
I wouldn't. I was thinking about it when I chose it. It's a GT car. Yeah. It all depends on how terrible the transmission is.
I mean, I suppose I'd rather have it as a manual, but it wouldn't break my heart that it isn't one. How's that?
No, and I think this is probably one of the better looking cars with pop-up headlights with them up. I think they look really good.
They don't go that far up, do they?
Yeah, I think that's the key.
So it's like a shallow angle.
Yeah, I think this and the first gen NSX look about the best.
What did it sell for?
I think it was 96,000.
Yeah, it wasn't super cheap.
That also doesn't seem crazy. I mean, there are less than 100 of them.
What was the stock displacement?
Well, that's what I'm confused about. 5 liters.
Right.
It being a 5.0 coupe.
Yeah. Well, I think that just, well, I don't know.
Well, it's got higher compression pistons, so I don't know. I don't know how that math works out.
Well, if they're the same diameter and the rod length isn't changed any,
right?
The crank is the same. It's just, it's going to go up and down the same amount. So it'll have the same displacement. It'll just be less area at the top, at top dead center for higher compression, I would assume.
190,000 kilometers. How many miles is that?
80.
No, 110. Something like that.
That was close.
Well, it's like 62,500 miles per 100,000 kilometers.
It's in really good shape, and it's black interior. Most V12s are terrible gray interior.
Yeah.
I could do without that stripe, if I'm honest.
What?
It does. It's not heinous.
You say that about all the cool stuff.
I just don't think it adds anything. And if that car were black, that stripe would be fine. But it clashes with the red for me.
The seat stripe or the outside stripe?
The seat stripe.
Oh. Well, that's the Alpina color.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying.
That's why the gauges are blue.
Yeah.
It's clashy.
Huh?
And I think it had a bunch of maintenance not too long ago. And someone, I think, supposedly steam cleaned the underside, which didn't look like they did a super great job, but
It's not funky. Is there a driving video? Because I'm kind of interested to hear what it sounds like.
I don't know.
There is.
Hopefully they don't drive it like a pussy.
Raw drive, maybe.
Could be.
I love a V12 starter.
Yep. They sound great when they start.
I always drive in sport mode.
Why wouldn't you?
One thing about Alpinas is that you have the power, the rawness, and you have the comfort. It's just
Yeah,
an
see?
amazing car.
Combo.
Fast acceleration.
It's nice and creaky.
This is a 1992 car and it still keeps up with today's traffic. It's a fast car. I'm already up to 100 kilometers. And you can't even feel it. It says parking light. I gotta check the bulb. Not a big deal.
The automatic didn't seem terrible.
It did seem pretty
30
effortless.
Kilometers, 140, 150, 160.
Oh,
The
no.
car is flying.
Literally.
Well, that is reasonably fast. 90, 85.
And there's still a lot more room to go. I just didn't want to do it on a public road.
What is he doing with the shifter?
Shifting it.
Shifting?
It's not automatic.
You have room
Yep.
to go up to
It's got a manual mode.
3,000, 4,000. Incredible range. About 100.
It's quiet.
It's wild. About 100. Sorry for the shakiness. The ground is pretty bad here.
Yeah. I don't know that I'd mind. I mean, it's expensive.
Definitely expensive.
But I think it's a cool car.
It's definitely a cool car.
It sold for $96,000.
Next.
Another one of mine. 1993 Mercedes 500E RENNtech 6-liter. A whole liter bigger than the BMW.
What does RENNtech mean?
They're a tuning company for Mercedes. Kind of like Alpina-ish.
Kinda. They're out of Florida.
They're out of Florida. Sold for $100,000. Black. This thing had a bunch of work done to it by this owner. I think he had it repainted. The engine was resealed. The suspension was gone through. It's
Okay.
a really nice car.
It's just an 18-month cosmetic and mechanical refurbishment.
Yeah. So they painted the whole thing. They put the rear spoiler on, which I really like. They put the Fat 5 wheels.
Why was it
the
assembled
monoblocks?
in a Porsche factory?
All the 500Es were.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It was in cahoots. They had to change like the whole firewall and stuff out of a normal 124. But it's got wider flares. Like Porsche did some engineering on it also. Look how nice that is. It's really nice. Carbon airbox.
Lid.
Sure. Part of the airbox.
So Porsche or Mercedes made that as a 5-liter, and then RENNtech made it a 6-liter.
Correct.
Is it the same engine, just
Bigger.
modified?
Yep. Ooh, exciting.
That ring is terrible.
Yep. And this would be a car I'd offer a manual swap for my manual swapping business.
I don't think that's what you want in a Mercedes.
I think you would with one of
I think this transmission's terrible enough that
Right.
you would definitely get something out of it. Look at that thing. Looks great. So RENNtech, I think they did the lowering springs on it. This guy put those wheels on it, the spoiler on it. I think these are just cool cars.
So it's just springs.
I think. But no, maybe this one had. No, yeah, I think this is just springs. One of my cars was. Yeah, this one's just springs.
All right. Well, this is the BMW.
I think they did more than just springs. When I worked for True Choice Motorsports, we built shocks for RENNtech.
Ah, all right.
I don't know if that's got coilovers or not, but
I don't think it does. But they did do a switch so you could turn off their traction control.
Yep.
And it's got a limited slip in it. All con brake calipers in the front, big brakes. And this thing, they went through the whole. I mean, this thing's going to drive really nice.
They put $59,000 into refurbishing it.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
So they sold 2 times before this.
No,
Yeah. Sold for 59, and then this guy bought it for 92, and he put 50 some thousand in it.
he just bought it this year or last year.
Yeah.
I think the 92 is
Oh,
post.
bid 2. Ah, I see. I didn't see
The seller
bid
bought
2.
it in 2020
Yeah. All right. I didn't see it was bid
for 59.
2. Yeah.
So they're losing money.
Yeah, but
They're losing
I
20
mean, you
grand.
have it for 5 years.
Before considering inflation, that's $4,000 a year to own it.
It's a classic. It's got a 6-liter V8. It's a whole liter bigger than the V12.
Okay.
It does not help it, in my opinion.
So Alpina B12 5-liter or RENNtech 500E 6-liter.
Red.
I'm going to go with the Mercedes.
Surprise.
I know.
Because one of us would have had to, right?
No, I mean, these cars, I think, are both GT cars ish. I mean, this one's got 4 doors, but they kind of serve the same thing.
Yeah.
This one's got some more special stuff done to it. I mean, the
But-
other one is the same displacement as when it was just a BMW.
But 12 cylinders.
Yeah, it's a whole liter smaller.
Yeah. 12 cylinders.
Terrible.
It looks way better.
What do you mean it looks way better?
That's
Even
just a
even in
gorgeous
red,
car.
it looks better. The wheels are better.
Yep.
I think you guys are wrong.
Sounds better.
No way.
Yeah.
BMW moves on.
Yep.
Okay, this is a 1997 Honda Acty pickup 4-wheel drive 5-speed with a 2024 Honda Moto Compacto scooter, which I don't care about the scooter, but I do like Actys, and I like that color on it, and they did a cool job on the interior. Kind of like the wheels.
Does it come with the Moto Campo?
It does.
Ooh.
Although the Moto Campo doesn't have a title, it's got a bill of sale. I don't know that you need a title for it because I'm pretty sure you can't register it for the road use anyway. But if you get down to looking at the interior, they redid it in
Ooh, fancy pantsy.
diamond stitched tan leather. I thought, if I'm going to have an Acty, which I would like, that's probably the one I'd want. I'm not sure I'd want the scooter, but
So the Honda Acty is your mini pickup
I'd like to have one.
of choice.
I think so. As opposed to the Mitsubishi or the Subaru.
Yep.
Yes. I think it is probably more up Honda's alley than it is up Subaru's, and I don't want to own a Mitsubishi.
And that's a 2024 Moto Compacted.
It's electric.
Yeah. It's
But-
the new electric one.
Whatever.
So that's probably half the price of the truck.
I don't know. I mean, excuse me. That truck is a lot nicer than most of them. in
Sure
terms of
is.
The paint and the interior and whatever. And, typically they're in the 5 to 10 grand range. I feel like you've got
Yeah, you got a free bike.
Yeah.
And some
$5
comfy
grand worth
seats.
of nice wheels and tires and a good color and a nice interior. And it comes with what I would at that point consider a free electric motorcycle that I don't want, or scooter that I don't want. But whatever, it can just live in there, and it's an escape vehicle.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, it's a Honda. It would go perfect in your Honda engine collection, even though it's battery powered.
I
That seems like a pretty good deal.
don't know how to respond to that. Obviously,
Well, for small engine things, you're kind of a Honda fanboy.
Yeah.
because they do it well.
Yeah.
They do.
I don't know why you wouldn't like the Moto Campo.
Because it runs on electricity. If it had like a 25cc gas engine in it, I'd be stoked about it.
You could trade it for a vintage,
Probably.
which had 50cc, I think.
Or whatever. Or I could just tear the electric guts out and put a chainsaw motor in it,
Sure.
Uh-huh.
committing some kind of crime, I'm sure. But
Probably not.
anyhow, I was pretty chuffed about that. Obviously, I don't think it stands up to the BMW.
What do you mean? It's green with tan interior. Your favorite combination.
I just don't think it stands up to the BMW. I like it a lot.
And it comes with a motorcycle.
Yeah. But I agree.
You know,
BMW.
that motorcycle wouldn't even go on the wall. I would ride that.
It's not a motorcycle. It's a scooter.
That's why I'd ride it.
I mean, I think basically that counts as an electric bicycle, and you don't need to do anything other than be wearing reflective stuff after dark.
Yeah. Perfect. BMW.
Next.
38,000 mile 2003 BMW Z4 Roadster 3.0 6-speed 3.0i 6-speed. This is not in fantastic colors or anything, but I liked it.
What do you mean? It's gray with a black top.
It's okay colors. It's
Yeah.
not
It's not green with tan
it's not
interior.
a crazy blue or a crazy green. And I kind of like the wheels.
Really?
I don't hate them, at least.
I hate them.
I'd have that. It's boring, but I would have it.
It's a manual.
I mean,
Fine.
it would fit right in with kind of
It's not an IS.
my
No.
current cars in terms of its boring coloration.
Yeah. I mean, it's between your Subaru and truck.
And
in
Tanya's
color.
car. It's a little lighter silver, gray, whatever, than I like. I like it a little bit darker than that, but whatever. It's not a...
It's,
Okay.
oh, look at the top. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Next.
Next.
All right. There's another one of mine.
I imagine Bear would have picked this.
1987 Porsche 959 Comfort with 13,000 kilometers.
What's a Comfort?
It's a not sport. To be frankly honest with you, that's exactly what it is.
It's a not sport.
They did a sport version and a
Comfort. Yeah. This one's more
of the
comfortable.
959.
I don't know that I've ever heard of a 959.
Oh,
Really?
why?
Because
Because they made it for 2 years?
don't know that I've heard of it.
$95,000 put into it.
Yep. From Canepa.
That went for a lot of money.
Yep.
Yeah.
But why?
It's a
Well,
959.
It's a 959. It's
Aside from not having very many of them, is there something awesome about it?
There you go. Read that.
Yep. It was developed for the Group B Rally Championship. Never went, or never really went, but it did get 1, 2, and 6 place at the D-Car.
Yep.
So it's all-wheel drive. This was like their Bugatti Veyron car of the era.
Go ahead.
I was just in front of the B pillar. It has a kind of a 911 shape. Like you can see some 911 in there.
Well, the middle bit's 911-ish, like the doors and the roof.
That was their technological tour de force.
Hmm.
Twin turbo, all-wheel drive.
It's sequential turbos.
Still flat six.
Yep. It's
Still air
2.8,
cooled.
I think.
What was it? What cooled is it?
Air cooled.
Air cooled.
Yep.
And I assume they made a
It's got metallic gray seats. My favorite part.
a rally sort of version to use in the Dakar.
Say that again.
They made a version with probably some better, deeper suspension and
Yes.
Yeah.
knobbly tires to
The
run
Dakar one is lifted quite a bit.
across the desert.
So this is the one that I was thinking of that it is converted over to coilovers.
Yep.
So these had like adjustable suspension from the factory, had adjustable a whole lot of things.
I forgot they had water cooled cylinder heads.
Right.
Just the heads.
Yep.
Yep.
Nickel cell cylinders, which was new. Titanium connecting rods. How cool was that? Sequential turbos.
How much power does this thing make?
I think they were 400.
Yeah.
444.
Out of a 2.5 liter? Or
2.8.
It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's worth $2 million. I mean, that's kind of
it's
where
not worth $2 million. It's worth 1.8.
Whatever.
7.5.
I mean, for like $100,000, I would think that was a great car. But
They spent $100,000 making it
I don't
run.
care about that.
I mean, this was basically the most technology
What was what?
car of the
Technically
era.
advanced.
Yeah. This was like their, because it's got hollow spoke magnesium wheels.
Yep.
With TPMS sensors, which were new. I think this was or close to. It's got four channel ABS on it instead of just 2 or 3.
Are they radio TPMS sensors, or is it just using the ABS for that?
No, I think it's radio.
But those are fun to keep working.
Wow, it cost $100,000 to get back in working order. Oh, look at that spoiler. I mean, look at that. It's carved out. It's cool.
It is cool. I don't think it's $2 million cool, or 1.9 million, or whatever.
Well, at this time, what was it? The F40 came out.
Yep.
Like shortly after this car, there were a couple. Like this was the shortest lived.
I think F40 was the same time.
Was it? Yeah. This was just the most sciencey car that was fast and cool. I think this is a good example. It's good colors. I love the interior.
I'm not in love with that.
No?
Why not? Sport seats. They're metallic gray.
Because it screams 80s.
Dang.
But not in a good way.
It does. And it's got all sorts of knobs and stuff that do things. And the gauges are all different. It does have a water temp gauge.
For the water-cooled heads?
Yep. Which was a first for
looks like a little
thing. Yeah, diff thing.
Yeah.
Does it have an oil temp gauge?
Yeah.
Should.
Temp and pressure.
I mean, because if you're running air-cooled, you want to know that.
Yeah. 6-speed transmission, which is probably close to the first, especially in a 911.
First what?
6-speed in 911-ish thing. That had adjustable shocks and adjustable ride height. I think you could you control the diffs or not?
I don't know. I don't know if that dash display is just telling you what it's doing
Maybe.
or telling you what you selected.
Right.
I didn't see a knob for that though. Anyway, very cool car.
Yeah. And
I'll go first. I'm BMW because that's ridiculously expensive.
I knew you'd say that. Oh, it's too expensive.
It is. It's too expensive.
It's the cutting edge car.
30 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, think about the cutting edges. The cutting edge is not particularly valuable even a short time later.
Well, so says you. That BMW, there might be one hollow spoke on that wheel. If I remember right. But Porsche pioneered it with this car.
Did they?
Why wouldn't they?
There were no hollow spoke wheels before that.
I think that's
Definitely not.
That's a bold claim.
Yeah, I think that's a bold claim.
And definitely not magnesium hollow
I'm not
spokes.
saying that that's not a cool Porsche. I'm saying it's not roughly 19 times cooler than that BMW.
I think I might have had a BMX bike with hollow magnesium spoke wheels.
Probably
Before that.
roughly around the same.
Were they made out of magnesium?
Yep.
Were they center lug?
Yep.
Were they?
Yeah.
All bicycles
Yeah,
have
pretty
a
much.
center lug
No, they
design.
don't.
Yeah,
They have an axle.
It goes through the center and it has bolts on it.
Yep.
Yeah. No, it's got lots of little bolts around the edge.
No, those are spokes.
Yeah. That's how the wheels held on to the axle.
No.
Yep. Prove me wrong.
All right. What's your pick?
BMW.
Bear?
Porsche.
Why would you make me pick?
Because it's fun.
You guys are just going to disagree.
Not necessarily. I mean, it's probable, but it's not intentional.
I feel like it's a difficult choice, but I have to kind of agree with Soren. I've never loved the 959 enough that
It's not even $2 million.
It's 19 times more expensive.
I think they're cool cars, but not great looking cars.
Sure. You're allowed to be wrong.
I think if I might restate my previous thing.
Oh, too bad.
Okay.
I don't want to destroy it. I don't want to own it.
Okay.
All right.
I think it's cool that it exists.
Well,
You didn't destroy it?
I mean, I don't have anything against it. It's not something I would want to own.
Copy.
okay.
I'd have that Alpina.
Well, here's a 1974 Porsche 911 project. Sold for $7,911.
Why?
My question to you guys and
Yeah.
the internet,
Uh-huh.
why?
My question is why.
So this was sold by
It's got a clean title.
yeah, CB Jeep, who is dang, why is he ringing, not ringing my bell?
It has no engine.
No engine, no transmission. It's totaled. Clean title.
That's incompatible.
So what? And one of my favorite pictures is coming up. Well, it's got seats. It has an interior, Soren.
Not a very good one.
It's there.
Sometimes it's better if it's not there.
Well, if we keep scrolling, look at that. No floors. You can see the bottom of the seats.
It also looks bent.
Yeah, it's been T-boned viciously hard.
Maybe that's worth cutting the fenders off of or something.
Well, that's what I'm asking you guys. What do you think? Why $8,000 for a not crazy rare car.
In my opinion, I would only buy that to use the parts. I would not buy that with the intention of building a car out of it again.
What parts are you going to use?
I don't know, but
The windows?
maybe wheels, or there might be
The
some
wheels are
suspension junk.
terrible. They're the cheapest wheels you can buy for any Porsche.
Whatever. That's I see that as parts, not as I'm going to make a car out of this. Doesn't seem like it's worth fixing.
$8,000 worth of parts? No way.
Well, I wouldn't pay $1,000 for it.
I'm just what other than maybe cutting it in half and making it wall art. What would you do with it?
I don't know.
It's so rusty.
It's pretty rusty.
I mean,
But you could buy all those parts.
yeah, but
You could make that complete again.
what's a 74 911 worth in nice shape? $80,000?
Don't know.
$50,000?
I think, Barrett, to answer for me, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't want that for really any dollars.
The Targa for 46. That's an S. That doesn't count. It's been backdated.
By and large, they seem to be less than you were saying.
The 74.
I mean, there's a brown S that was a bid to 43. Sold for 73. It's a Targa.
That's a Sportomatic that sold for 64. Wow.
That'd be an interesting car for about 20 minutes.
No, the one on the end went for 166.
Yeah.
That's really nice, though.
If you like a non-turbo whale tail.
Is that the purple ruby color?
No.
I guess if you have a shop that can do that relatively inexpensively.
Yeah.
Or do it in your garage.
What if you have an apprentice that needs to learn?
I mean, you're going to need a frame rack and a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Bunch of sheet metal. You can buy all that.
That stuff's not cheap.
Yeah, but it's never going to be original again. So it's not. I think unless you do something,
and you got to buy drivetrain for
that's
it.
Going to be the painful one,
right?
Getting the engine
is getting an
engine transmission.
Well, so unless you do something crazy, interesting with it, it's never going to be worth much. I don't think.
I mean, would you LS it?
No.
I'm just, sometimes people do crazy stuff with Porsches and then they're worth a lot of money because they're cool.
Right.
But unless you do that, I think if you just restore that back to perfect, like as it came from the factory.
I mean, but yeah,
it's going to cost you 3 times as much as it'll ever be worth.
I should do a backdated hot rod thing.
Yeah, but you got to be so much.
But wouldn't that qualify as something special?
Yeah.
Sure. You got so much work just to get to that, to starting to backdate stuff.
Right. And at the same time, then, wouldn't it be worth it to just buy one that's like $50,000 and not super, but it has all the stuff?
Maybe.
And runs. Start with
part
that.
It out.
Well, start with that for your super special project.
Sure.
Yeah.
Dennis Collins is what I was thinking of.
I can't think of a reason to buy that.
Yeah, that's an easy one. We don't even have to vote.
That's fair.
It's
a Mitchell, Wisconsin 11-liter special speedster. And I picked this for 2 reasons.
11 liters?
One is that I like, even this is a replica. I think this is.
It's a replica?
It doesn't say it there, but I think in the first paragraph it says it was constructed over the whatever. I like open wheel old race cars, and it's an 11-liter, which cracks me up. I like the huge, ridiculous displacement.
Is it a 4-cylinder?
I don't know.
Inline 6.
Inline 6. So that's close to 6 2-liter sized bottle cylinders, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
And it's probably not fast, but it's cool looking. And
well, it doesn't have a roll hoop or a roll thing, so you'd love it. No headrests.
Yep. Put on your leather helmet and man up.
It's got a hardware store for an engine.
I was admiring the brass exhaust or intake or whatever that is. Actually, both.
Yeah, it's cute.
There's some copper intake. Anyway,
I think that's coolant.
might be.
Look at that drive shaft.
Yeah. It's the sort of thing that if I had a stupid amount of money, I'd be like, yes, I want that because
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
why not?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
What?
He said stupid money, and then I looked at the price.
It was bid to 60 grand.
Yep. It's pretty silly.
Wow.
That's more silly than my $1.8 million 911.
No,
Yeah,
not.
pretty much.
It's not more silly. It's about 1/30th as silly.
No.
No, that's pretty
Because you
silly.
end up with that for 60 grand versus
But I would have that for
1.8.
60 grand.
1.8 for
There's no
959.
amount of money I could have where I would spend $1.9 million on that Porsche
Yes,
because
there
it's just
is.
not that
It
interesting.
wasn't even 1.9.
It was 1.875.
Yeah.
That's close. I'm rounding.
Stop rounding. Doesn't sound good.
It sounds fine. Anyway, I would have that if I could afford it. I would not have that Porsche if I could afford it.
Would you turn it into a fire truck? What would you do to it?
No, I would drive it.
So it's just called the Wisconsin?
Yeah.
It's a Wisconsin Mitchell.
Wisconsin special.
And I feel like I could, go to vintage races.
And do what?
Like a parade lap. Maybe I could be the safety car. I don't know.
No, you could drive to the vintage race and then get out and spectate.
People would be like, "Well, that's cool."
Would they?
Yes. So would you.
You know what? Maybe some people with beards,
Lots of beards.
bearded old men would come by and be like, "Oh my God, is that Firestone on that thing?"
Are you saying that the graybeards would approve?
Man, for 60 grand, you don't even get the spare wheels.
You're
You got to change the tires on the side of the road.
Because you're not weak to just mount it on the side of the road like a man.
Uh-huh.
Well, does it come with a plow?
It's definitely no Alpina. Well, it doesn't have any tread on the tires.
That's true.
Plow would be rough. They're just balloons.
Yeah.
They're racing slicks.
Uh-huh.
Obviously.
Next.
We didn't even vote.
We don't need to vote.
No.
Well,
versus the Alpina?
I wouldn't have voted for it versus the Alpina, and I'm not going to vote for this either.
But I know what Bear would vote.
This is a 1953 Cadillac.
Yeah, I'd vote on
M41
a
A1 Walker Bulldog light tank. And if I had the money, I would have a tank because it would be amusing.
Mid to 175,000.
Mm-hmm.
Does it run?
I believe so.
Does it operate?
In the sense that it has a real gun, no, I don't think so.
Does it have shells?
It might. But I like old military vehicles, and
It's got rubber stuff on the treads.
Most of them do.
From 1953, huh? Wow. What do you think it's worth in scrap?
Don't be a dick.
It's got to be heavy.
Yeah, it's probably 25 tons, maybe. Something like that.
So it's worth more as a tank than it is in scrap.
Well, I would say it's probably worth about $5,000 in scrap.
Well,
assuming you just get mixed steel prices.
How small is the engine in this? I bet it doesn't even have 11 liters.
I don't think it probably does.
Doesn't say how big it is.
3-speed transmission.
It's a flat 6, air cooled with supercharger.
Huh.
Yeah, probably not that huge. It said it shows like 3,200 miles.
That'd be rough. It's probably the worst 3,200 miles you could ever do.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, unless maybe you're on a pogo stick or something.
Interesting that doesn't come up with a Wikipedia article. There's the T-42 tank.
895 cubic inches. That's pretty big.
Well, it is
pretty
the AOS 895.
Yep.
Man, that's huge. That's like
That's a big flat 6.
14 liters, something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty
with
good
the
size.
supercharger.
Yep.
That's much more displacement than I had expected. So it's
a lot of money.
Yeah, really bad gas mileage.
Now, what do you think would be faster, the Wisconsin Special?
Yes,
No.
it would be faster than
I'll
that.
bet you the tank could
This
outrun that.
thing's supercharged, and it's
It's got a top speed of 60 miles an hour.
got 3.
What does this?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, let's smoke that.
Yeah.
Wisconsin
No,
special.
The Wisconsin Special is probably only doing 40.
That's ridiculous. Anyway,
The tires would explode.
it's the Alpina. Go ahead and close it.
Well, first we have to vote. Bear?
Yeah, I mean the Alpina's
Okay.
way easier to drive, I'm sure.
Who's this?
That's me.
Oh,
1959 Alfa Romeo Giulietta Sprint 5-speed. Giulietta? Whatever. Anyway, I like the color. I think those are cool cars in general. Just old Alphas. Bear's so disgusted he left.
It's beer time.
I like that blue.
It's
Oh,
good blue.
And I'm sure that that's not a particularly fabulous car to drive.
I bet that's a pretty good car to drive.
But
What do you mean by fabulous car to drive?
It's not a race car. It's not super handling. Probably doesn't go very fast.
I bet it looks better than it drives.
Probably handles really nice.
It's got drum brakes.
It's 1.3
Hold
liter
your
twin
horses.
cam inline 4.
Yeah.
So it's not got a huge
It's a
amount
little
of power.
car.
But I
It
like
doesn't weigh much.
I like the look of it. That's a car I would buy because I'm like
It probably sounds
I'm
good.
pleased with the styling of it.
It's a good looking car.
I'm not super fond of the interior.
I think the interior looks nice.
No, it's really nice. You know what it reminds me of? That 959.
It does. Kinda.
Kind of.
And I don't
It
like
just
it for the
doesn't
same
have
reason.
the sport seats. I love the door cards.
Yeah.
I like the gauges, steering wheel,
Mhm.
everything.
Yep.
So that's a car that I would not take it to the grocery store. You know what I mean? You take it out for an event or two, I guess, maybe.
Did you do a road rally?
No.
Why? What?
Why would I do a road rally?
Do you know what a road rally is?
It's a rally on the road.
No, it's a road rally.
Is a road rally a rally on the road?
I mean, you drive on roads.
Is it a
Not really. It's not like a WRC rally.
It's timed.
Yeah.
Right? So
You do like an average speed.
you do your lap or whatever, and
It's not a lap. It's it's A to B.
whatever. It's your time versus everybody else's time, not like an actual at the same time race.
No,
It's not a race.
Yeah, it's like bracket racing
It's
almost.
a time distance rally. So they
Okay.
say, here's point A. You need to arrive at point B in this amount of time.
Okay.
If you go over or you get there too soon, you get docked points.
Hmm.
So you're trying to get there at exactly the correct time.
Makes it fairly easy to cheat, doesn't it?
How?
What?
Well, I mean, at least if I'm faster than I say I am, I can then just slow down at the end.
Okay. How do you know?
I don't know what.
That you're faster than you should be.
Right.
Well, so I should know how fast that car is, right?
Uh-huh.
Because it's my car I'm driving.
Okay.
I assume I have to declare a time.
No.
How do they
There's a
calculate
time to
There's
get
probably
from here
probably classes.
to here.
in a class?
Sure.
So they put me in a class.
I don't know if they have classes or not. I think it's just you have to get from here to here in this amount of time. You
Okay.
get there too soon.
So if I was
You get dock
capable of
points.
getting there too soon,
You would.
I think
this would
every
be a
car-
thing you would love to do.
I think every car at a road rally is capable of getting there too soon.
Yes.
so then you just slow down at the end, so you don't get there too soon.
Okay, but if you get there too late, you also get dock points.
Right.
What if there's traffic?
But if I've got more go than is called for to meet the time,
Uh-huh.
all I have to do is kind of go fast the first 3/4 of it
Uh-huh.
and then eyeball it in.
Okay.
All right.
All
Sounds
right.
like we got
sounds
you
like
talked
you should be
into
a
it.
road rally
It
champion.
just seems like
Yeah.
a dumb thing to do
Okay.
Well,
because it's easy to cheat.
This would be a perfectly fun car for them.
Anyway, I like this car.
And there's people
and I
that
would have
win road rallies, and there's people that don't win road rallies.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming, I've never done one, that it's not as easy as you're making it out to be.
Okay, but just because people don't succeed at something doesn't mean it's hard.
It doesn't mean it's easy.
That's true. But as described, it sounds easy.
I don't know. They have all kinds of fancy clocks and watches and stuff they use.
Yeah.
Right? Anyhow, I don't think that beats the Alpina.
45 grand.
I like it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Does not beat the Alpina.
No. Does have a 5-speed, though. All right. I think
Who's
this is
this?
my last car.
Is this you, Bear?
This is me. I razzle-dazzled you, didn't I? This is a...
Which one of us is getting
Is it a
razzle-dazzled?
case? Cass?
I think
I'd say
we're
that.
both getting razzle dazzled.
Yeah.
In German, that would be case.
So it's a case Boss 9 powered 32 Roadster Highboy. I mean, the wheels aren't great, but the rest of the car, I think, is phenomenal. And the steering wheel sucks.
Oh, it's got Motec M130.
Yep. Motec. Yep. It's got a big engine. 8. And I didn't know Borla did fuel injection.
Yeah.
That's the first I've heard of it. So this is an all.
That's funny because I think they did it and they don't do it anymore.
That's weird.
So you've missed the whole Borla era of fuel injection.
They're primarily known for exhausts, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They bought Ingles, I think it was.
Okay. Did they do fuel
Who
injection?
did they did Weber carbs, and then I think they moved into fuel injection.
I think that just looks cool. All steel body, which kind of annoys me, but maybe not, because there's no clear coat or nothing on it, supposedly, or the chassis or anything.
So it's bare steel?
It's just bare steel.
That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
You would have to keep that oiled up pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah, or waxed heavily or whatever.
It would probably just put a clear powder on it or something. Clear coat.
Sure.
Or just let it.
You're right, Bear. That is a really bad steering wheel.
Yeah, the steering wheel is terrible.
And those wheels are bad.
The wheels are bad.
Other than that, my only objection that I've seen so far is that I don't like that it doesn't have sides on the front.
Oh, I thought you liked open.
No.
It's a open hood.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Why not?
Because it looks like they didn't finish.
You like the
Finished it?
wheels?
No, I hate the wheels.
No, the
No.
wheels are bad.
I was
The
agreeing with
wheels
Bear.
and the steering wheel are bad.
I was agreeing with Bear on his assessment of what's
Yeah.
bad and just
It-
complaining about the lack
It
of
needs a better sides.
Yeah.
It needs taller back tires, different wheels.
But I think,
I don't like the gauges either.
really, they're
Nope.
old Ford things.
Now that, on the other hand,
That's cool.
that's awesome.
It saves it.
what is it?
Stacks.
That's a Cass Boss 9.
It's a Cass
Ah.
Boss 9.
There you go.
Isn't that not your favorite engine?
Nope, never heard of it before.
Boss.
Tell me
Nine?
about the Cast Boss 9.
You have totally heard of it before. That's a Boss 429.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what's in a Boss 429.
Well, this one isn't.
That's what was in a Boss 429.
That's basically the same.
That's the 429,
Architecture.
That's the same architecture as the Boss 429.
but not made
This
by
is
Ford.
just a new one.
Made by Cass or Case.
Gas racing engines. That's correct.
Must be Dutch then.
And it's got stacks.
It does. And a
58
Motec.
millimeter throttle bodies and Motec. I mean, look at that underside.
Why wouldn't you paint it?
I don't know. I don't know why it doesn't have.
Perhaps they hadn't gotten that far.
Why do an automatic?
Because you don't know how to drive a manual,
Because it's a 32 Roadster.
which
Okay.
would have only had a manual. Because there may have been
Yeah, but
automatic
a
transmissions.
no 32 Roadster came with a Cass Boss 9. I mean, that thing's probably just ridiculous. It's so
Just-
ridiculous you couldn't control it with a clutch pedal.
What?
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
Or maybe there's not enough room. I like the windshield being laid
Pretty
back.
sure a
Yeah.
manual gearbox is smaller than an automatic. Pretty sure that's usually the case.
Yeah, definitely needs different wheels and tires in his new steering wheel, and maybe a clear coat.
Something.
I mean, I don't mind that that's an automatic. I mind that it doesn't have metal on the front of the sides.
It's at least got a $high shifter. It's a low car
If
shifter.
it had metal on the sides, you would be able to tell that it had a cast 9 in it.
Right.
Fine. I would know.
No, you
I don't
wouldn't.
care if you know.
It sticks out the sides.
Yeah. I don't think it fits in the.
Well, make some metal that fits.
See, look how
Yeah,
far
you
it
could just
sticks
make some
out the
metal that like
sides.
bulges out a little bit, has some vents in it.
I don't like
don't
metal.
like-
I don't like metal that bulges out.
Yeah, that would be dumb.
Except
There's nothing
box
bulgy on
fenders.
that car. It's all just straight,
So bid to 75,000.
which is probably what the engine cost.
It probably is.
I'm
Close to it.
probably a no on this.
I'm a no on it because it doesn't have any paint.
I think that's a cool thing. It wouldn't be cool in Ohio, that's for sure.
Or any state with any
I
precipitation.
mean, you got to be where it is. Where is it?
Nevada.
Nevada, yeah. There, Arizona.
Even so, even in Nevada, that's going to rust.
Yeah, but it'll look like good rust.
No, it'll look like rat rod rust, which is shit.
Well, at least you spent close to $100,000 on it.
But we don't know. It could be $250 they wanted.
All right. Well, that's no Alpina,
It is not.
right?
The Alpina has paint
That's
and
true.
sides on the front.
And it's got stripes.
And appropriate wheels.
All right. This one's mine.
No.
It is. Euro 1991 BMW M5.
It's a good color.
Sold for 19,000.
Wow. How does the Euro vary from what we got here?
No, 91, how it varied. Oh, that's got a 3.6.
I could tell you why. Because it doesn't have factory wheels. That's why it's so cheap.
What?
Yep.
That seems ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Hey.
I'm not sure on an E34. On a 91, there was a huge difference between the Euro and the US. Later years, they got a 3.8 instead of a 3.6.
It's a great color.
It is a great color.
It is.
Was that Mercury's blue?
Meredith blue.
Meredith's blue.
What's the interior?
Uh,
That could be better.
could be.
Could be.
Could be worse.
Could be worse.
I suppose that's possible.
Never mind. Talk about bad steering wheels.
Yeah, that's a bad steering wheel.
Yeah. It's not the worst steering wheel.
No, that's about the worst.
No.
It's not the worst.
It's not the
Yeah,
worst.
it is.
It's definitely not the
I mean,
worst.
it's not
if
great,
that
but-
carbon fiber section was wood grain, maybe it'd be worse.
We've seen worse steering wheels tonight.
No, that 32 Ford was a better steering wheel than that.
Negative.
Yes, it was. That thing. Is that a Momo?
That is not worse.
That's only
That's worse than the 32 Ford steering wheel.
that's
Absolutely
only
not.
mildly
Oh, yeah.
offensive. It's
No.
not heinous.
That's definitely not.
That
worse.
is dreadful.
In fact, if it didn't have these things here, that'd be a nice steering wheel.
No, it wouldn't.
Mm,
That's bad enough. I'd hook a chain to it and yank it out of the car with a pickup truck
Wrong.
That's
without
ridiculous.
unbolting it.
That's just silly.
I'd just rip the whole thing out.
That's crazy.
It's a great looking car.
It's
Yeah.
a great looking car.
I like the
Good
wheels.
color.
Yeah. If that, I mean, at least it's not a light gray on the inside.
It was light gray.
Yeah.
I don't know
it's like
what
a,
you saw
But
there.
it,
like
had
the
it did
leather
have
parts
M
are
cloth.
dark
It had
gray,
cloth.
darkish gray, medium gray.
That's light gray. That's the definition of light gray.
Now, there's a lot of more washed out pasty grays out there.
The only thing saving it is the cloth inserts.
Yep.
Good God, because the rest of it. Oh,
And those door panels always fall off.
yeah.
The cloth part.
These part, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
that,
leather part, whatever.
that whole
Is that just,
series.
like,
The
bad,
E36s and
Bad
E34s and
E34s.
E36s.
bad
yeah.
body clips.
I think these
glue.
are glued on.
Probably Probably not terribly difficult to fix.
Yeah.
If nothing else, you could just glue it back on.
I wouldn't bother.
Or just take it off.
It would probably come off with the steering wheel. What was on the dash besides the radar
big, huge
detector?
thing?
Yeah. Is that backup camera?
No. I have no idea what that is.
Was this? Was it
It's
a
an added heads up.
Japanese car?
It was in Japan.
Oh, was it? Well, that would make sense.
Was it?
It said it was
I didn't see
in
that.
Japan for a bit.
Ah,
Yeah, and
well, that would
whatever
make-
that is.
yeah, that'd make perfect sense.
Whatever that looks like GPS.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's just a little camera that's over on the what would be the driver's side in Japan, so that when you're parking or whatever, you can get a better idea.
I don't know.
It's a gizmo. That's what we know.
Despite its shortcomings, I feel like 19 grand's pretty good for that.
That's a great price.
You think?
I mean, there's some things you'd
19?
want to
Yeah.
change.
19.
I'd want to change.
That's
For
pretty
Euro?
good.
Euro?
Boy, the inside's pretty rough. What are those?
In a great color.
Yeah, the color's great.
I'm not sure I'd say it was rough.
I mean, it's falling apart, and it's gray, and it's got stuff deck screwed to the dashboard.
That part does so.
Yeah, but still.
All right. This.
Worst case scenario, you just get a good interior. Alpina.
The Alpina.
It's gonna sound better.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it is?
I think it's gonna sound better.
Than an E34 M5?
Yeah.
I think so.
No.
Well, I like the Alpina better.
Yeah, the Alpina's better.
Sorry, Mason.
The Alpina doesn't have deck screws in the dashboard.
It might, but you don't see them.
Right.
Well, I'm just saying it's not gonna sound better.
It would.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-uh.
I could make it sound better.
Uh-uh.
Anyway,
The V12
Yeah.
or the straight six?
The V12.
You're crazy.
You're crazy.
And it's got a stock exhaust.
Yeah, see?
Won't be able to hear anything.
That sounds terrible. Might be able to hear some bleepity bloops out of the robot computer.
Yeah.
So what's stopping you from putting that gearbox behind the V12?
Money.
Exactly.
What? That's what stops you.
I mean, you can buy this whole car for 19 grand, take the transmission out, and put it in a Alpina. Sounds like a pretty good deal. And then you could sell the seats to some sucker.
I think you need pedals and
Well, the pedals are in there.
next.
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 Ooh.
Yeah.
I didn't see that was bid to. 1973 Ferrari 365 GTB Ford Daytona Berlinetta.
Huh.
In silver. With the Bereni wire wheels. Sold new to Pennsylvania.
Is it a shame that I like these in a convertible more than the Berlinetta?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, you asked.
All right.
I think that's way better looking than the convertible.
I don't see how a convertible version of that could be better looking.
Uh-uh.
It's just got a good line down the back.
Pop-up headlights. That's what looked weird.
It does look a little bit puzzled when its headlights are open.
Those proportions are just great. Look at those seats.
Seats are cool.
Might even be a good steering wheel.
Uh-huh. If you're a bus driver.
It's not objectionable.
I mean, it's a little bit better than the 32 Ford.
It's way better.
Look at those mufflers.
Mm.
That's basically your seat heaters.
Whether you want it or not.
Yeah.
I think those are just gorgeous cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only
I
thing
didn't
about
know they did the flap up headlights.
Yeah. I think all the U.S. cars had pop-ups.
the thing about that I don't like are the corner markers.
Really?
What?
I think they're huge and ridiculous.
Well, that's what makes it a Daytona.
So the Euro version had
Like
not pop-up headlights.
plexiglass.
With little plexiglass covers.
So the headlight's just always facing forward from
Right.
basically where it's at in there.
Which I think look better.
Yeah.
I could see that looking better. I wonder how hard it would be to change that.
Well,
I don't know that I'd bother. Profile looks good.
any driving videos do you?
Nothing with driving in the name. So is that an early one, middle one, late one?
73, I think, is middle.
I didn't know that ours got pop-up headlights. All of ours? All the Daytonas?
It says it debuted at the
says-
1968 Paris Auto Show, or Auto Salon.
Says covered headlights was replaced by pop-up headlights in 71.
Oh, so this must be a later one.
73.
I don't like it.
That is
Yeah, I like that better.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad as a convertible, but it doesn't look better.
that's not a convertible.
But there was a convertible.
But that's what the headlights originally look like.
I'm guessing that's probably not terribly difficult to change if you don't like it.
Maybe. It might be terribly expensive.
Oh, it'd be
So there's
terribly
the
expensive.
Spider on the left, which
Yep.
is not a bad looking car,
No,
but it's not better looking.
Tons of the coupes got converted to Spiders
yeah,
Because that's what people wanted.
because that's what people wanted.
Strange.
I think that's good looking.
It's not bad looking, but it's better looking with a hardtop.
I agree.
Coming from the Mr. Convertible down there?
That is correct.
Wow.
Bid to 530.
Well, in the
Maybe I'm new to old Ferraris, but that seems really, really, really cheap.
doesn't seem really cheap.
It does seem really, really, really
I mean,
cheap.
shouldn't that be closer to
The
a
one we
million?
just looked at, or the one that I just clicked on, was $3 million.
Yeah. It was an earlier one, though.
No, it was a 73 Spider.
Oh, the Spider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that a factory Spider? Because maybe that's.
I didn't read it, but probably.
I got to imagine that having made it into one is not nearly as valuable as having gotten it that way.
Maybe. All right.
I like this car a lot,
It's only a 4.4 liter V12.
but it didn't sell, and we don't know what it would have sold for.
That's
and it's
true.
a lot
It was
more,
at least 530.
right? So I think I'm going to stick with the Alpina.
Here.
Yeah. Alpina. It's an Alpina.
Like, this is not. We don't know enough about it.
Okay. Next.
Ooh.
1968 Dodge Charger RT 440. Sold for $98,000.
That seems cheap.
Well, it's a 440 automatic car.
Oh. In a goof color.
Yeah.
A goof killer.
Yeah.
With non-stock stuff.
Define goof killer.
Well, it's not orange. It's not red. It's kind of salmonella.
Bronze. They call it bronze.
Yeah.
It's not salmonella.
It's the color of a salmon.
You mean salmon?
Mm-hmm.
Got a little bit of
It is a salmon.
modifying going on here.
It's a little twinkly under the hood.
Yeah. Interesting.
Wouldn't that normally reduce its value?
Yeah, it may have.
Yeah, probably did. I think the 68s are good. I like the taillights.
You're one of those guys.
Yep.
Okay, so I wasn't allowed to watch the Dukes of Hazzard as a kid,
Uh-huh.
like the original one.
Yeah.
That's more or less what they had, right?
Uh-huh. Well, they had a 69 or
But it was actually
69
orange
or
and it had
70.
the
yeah.
Confederate flag on the hood and all that.
Correct.
Yeah.
More or less that car.
Yes.
Except these taillights are way better.
Fair enough.
I like the later ones.
I'm a no.
Knowing what?
I don't want this car.
You don't want it at all?
No. Where I'm from, Dodge equals bad.
Charger RT versus Alpina B12. Fair.
They're both automatics, and this only
Yep.
has 3 speeds.
Yep.
So unfortunately, Alpina still.
Okay.
How is that possible?
I don't know.
You guys voted off my Mercedes.
Yeah.
I would be
Well, it would've-
disappointed if it won.
It would have been voted off a couple times since then. Anyway.
Would it have?
Yeah.
I will vote
Daytona
against it
definitely would have beat it.
almost every time.
Ah, the Daytona might have beat it.
All right. This one is all sword.
I didn't pick it.
I picked it for you.
Oh.
2012 Radical SR8 RX.
Nope.
What?
Don't like it.
What do you mean you don't like it?
It's like a race car.
It is a race car.
I don't like race cars. I mean, to own for me.
What the hell's the matter with your dog?
He's acting like Soren.
It's whining a
Awful
lot.
whiny and
Yeah.
kind of moving around a lot.
Whiny.
Moving around a lot. Whining.
So was this owned by the guy that previously owned Todd's Daytona prototype? Looks very similar in paint scheme.
I don't know. I don't think so.
This would be fun. This would be a lot of fun.
I think these are really cool. I think it's a really neat car for what they sell for.
Yeah.
They don't sell for a lot.
No, which is wild. Well,
I don't know what that
millions
engine
of them out there.
costs. No, there's not millions of SR8s.
Sure.
Most of the Radicals have a Hayabusa engine,
Right.
based engine. This is a V8,
Ooh.
From
Based on-
what?
2 Hayabusas.
I was going to say. So one of those Ariel Atom V8 things?
Yep.
Huh. Well,
So here's a race start.
whoa. I mean, the intake noise is phenomenal.
Yep.
Buffeting. It looks pretty slow.
sounds good.
They sound really good.
I'm not sure that looks slow.
It's
He's being sarcastic.
super slow.
Oh.
My Mercedes could whoop that thing.
I gotta think that thing weighs like a 16th of what your Mercedes weighs.
Anyway, pretty cool for 47.5.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna
Not a
guess
street car.
It's not a street car, and
You know, I like going racing
yeah,
as crew.
you don't want to own a race car.
I've thought about it a fair amount, and I can't imagine a situation in which I would want to be the race car driver.
Oh.
Because I like going fast, but I don't like going fast with a bunch of idiots.
Whoa.
What are you trying to call us?
There's going to be a portion of any population that you go, well, they're morons.
Everybody on the racetrack is going to be way less of a moron than anybody you drive around.
Well, but they're
on a daily
driving a lot
basis.
harder.
Yeah. Just go faster.
Yeah.
I just don't think I'd enjoy it. I would, if I had the money, I'd just rent Mid-Ohio and go up and drive around on it.
Uh-huh.
Well, then do it.
Well, I don't have
Be
the
one
money.
of those guys, would you?
Yes.
All right. Alpina or Radical?
Next.
Alpina.
Damn it. Thought I had a winner.
This might be a winner.
Oh, Soren likes red Porsches, not silver ones?
26,000 mile, 94 911 turbo 3.6.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have to address that, Steve. I said it might be a winner. I wasn't saying anything other than the next one might be a winner. Sorry.
This is $1.4 million cheaper than the 959.
That is a fact.
Just want to point out.
Yeah.
Almost 1.5.
And
I think better looking.
Yes.
sure, I'll give you that, but it's red.
It is red with tan.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with red with tan.
Well,
I mean,
if it's a Ferrari, maybe.
It's 3.6.
I mean, it's got speed lines.
Were they water cooled at that point? Or are they still air oil cooled?
air.
I don't know why I think that's better, but I think that's better.
Which part?
Air.
Oh. It has its advantages. That's for sure.
Lighter, I would assume.
Wow, it's got 14 million gallons of oil.
Yeah, but it doesn't leak any water under any circumstances.
No, just oil.
Hopefully not.
So
guards red 911 turbo.
It's good.
Just happens to be a 964 turbo with 3.6.
Yeah.
Speed lines.
Good looking car.
Sport seats.
Yep.
Good looking
Which is
interior.
good.
Not the greatest steering wheel in the history of the world.
Pretty terrible.
See, 32 Ford's better.
No, it is not.
You tell me the 32 Ford steering wheel is less attractive than that?
Yes.
I think you're blind.
The 32 Ford steering wheel is actively ugly. That's just
Actively ugly and it'll blow up in your face.
That's just not awesome.
If it weren't red,
I like it a lot.
I'd like it.
I would prefer they did some really good blues.
Yeah, blues, black.
You can keep the beige interior.
I even like
Good
a
blue.
silver. I like a yellow one.
Mm.
All their funky colors in the 90s, I like.
But it's red.
Yeah.
So is the current
Uh-huh.
leader.
It doesn't have Alpina stripes on it.
It doesn't.
And it doesn't have a V12. It is a manual. And does have a turbo.
It does.
How many speeds? 5 or 6?
I think it's 6 at that point.
I think so. Yeah. No, it's 5-speed.
Those are good
Is it?
wheels.
I think those are G50.
Yeah, those are tremendous wheels. It'll say up.
G50,
Yeah.
52.
It's hard. And I like that. It's 4.5 times as much.
It's a lot more.
It does have a shifty stick, which is nice.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot quicker.
It's a different kind of thing.
Kinda.
It is a different kind of thing. I mean, a 911 is kind of its own kind of thing.
Yeah.
you really can't compare to other things because of the way it's set up.
I'm going to go purely on interior here
Okay.
because I wouldn't buy either one of these cars in red.
Okay.
Well, the 8 Series is better.
It is.
And I think at worst case scenario, I can start a manual swapping company for 8 Series.
Sword.
All right. So I'm going to use different reasoning than you, Bear.
Okay.
If I'm
did I mention the stripes?
If I'm going to spend $400,000 on a Porsche, it's going to be in a color that I want. I don't hate that color.
That's true.
But it's going to. I'm not spending $400,000 on a car that's not a color I like or want. I don't hate that color.
That's expensive.
That's really expensive.
How much
You
is
can
that? How
you
much
can get
is,
a Turbo S for
how much
that.
is the Alpina? It's like 90 grand or something.
96.
Okay, so I'm probably in real life not spending 100 grand on a car I don't like the color of either. But it's a lot more tolerable, and I think that car would still be fun.
Okay.
Also rarer.
Which one are you picking?
The Alpina.
Okay.
Oh.
Alpina?
Yeah.
All right. I guess I get accused of never picking, but I think I'd pick the Alpina also.
Right.
Winner.
Winner, chicken
Is
dinner.
that a terrible disappointment?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think it's a terrible disappointment.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I guess like and subscribe and comment and tell us we're wrong if you like.
Okay.
Did you stop the recording?
No. You want me to? You're going to record it.